Did you ever had a project in mind that you just couldn't wait to get started on? 8 years ago, I bought a domain for my dream project, but technologies were the problem. I wanted to create Textual Games, that's also the name of the domain I bought, where you have a story and based on your decisions, your story is changing. Now, of course, there are a bunch of ways to create something like that. My first idea back then was to have the tree of decisions where you decide something yes or no, and based on that, you get some totally different story. That brings, of course, a lot of things that are not really interesting for someone to play that story because the story is always the same. It's coming from database and we have that fixed story and nothing else. I mean, we can write, of course, 2000 stories, but for that, I would need an army of content creators. And I almost gave up on my dream project. And my domain was just sitting there for 7 years, and we all know what happened 1 year ago. OpenAI. OpenAI gave that army of content writers and one really important thing, and that's that all stories are completely unique. Each player can play some totally different story. And with the power of Next.js and OpenAI combined, I created this. So this one is still beta, so don't mind the design. I have to change that, I'm not a designer, so if you have any tips for design, I'm really happy to hear them. So let's play our first story. First thing we can do is to pick our genre, so we can take fantasy, adventure, comedy, horror, mystery, romance, sci-fi, historical, and dystopian. I'm going to take adventure for the beginning. Next thing we need to do is to choose our character. So there are a bunch of characters here. They're all currently hard-coded and coming from the project itself. That can change, of course, in the future. It can be also produced by OpenAI. And for now, I'm going to choose Samurai. And my name is going to be Jack, Samurai Jack. And now we're choosing our story. So this one also is predefined from the project. Everything was produced by OpenAI, but it's hard-coded in Next.js. This is our main story that our character is going to follow. So I'm just going to click building a cabin in the woods. That one sounds fun. And our first item is going to be sword because it's Samurai Jack. And now our game is being generated. So every detail that we gave to OpenAI is being processed. So we have our main character that is a samurai. His name is Jack. We are building a cabin in the woods and we have a sword. So everything was received by OpenAI and we are creating our first level where we are going to get first an image from Dolly 3, how our character looks and what's like the current scenery of our level, and then we are going to be able to do whatever we want. And when I say whatever we want, we don't have like two choices that we can click like on that decision tree that I showed you, but we can write anything we want. And that's the power of OpenAI in this case, because we can literally put a prompt and based on that prompt we can decide what happens with that character. And our first level is here, and here is our Samurai Jack. He's ripped, and here is the cabin in the woods. We're not, I thought like we're building it from scratch, but we already have some cabin. And we have our story. So, you are Jack, the stoic and noble samurai, having chosen a life of solitude among the dense, whispering woods. Your body, a testament to countless battles fought, bears the weight of the world on its broad shoulders. So we see our battle scars and everything, and draped in traditional samurai armor, the muted colors of your clothing only amplify the radiant gleam of your trusted sword, a faithful companion that rests in your hands. This sword, meticulously crafted and painstakingly sharpened, is the only item present in your inventory now. And that's exactly what we placed there, so we have only one item in our inventory. There is basically an inventory system behind, but it's not yet displayed. I want to work on that. And leaving behind the chaos of the battlefield driven by a desire for peace, you have taken upon yourself the task of building a cabin in this tranquil forest. Your immediate surroundings are teeming with towering trees, their leaves rustling in the gentle breeze, and the soft chirping of unseen creatures fills the air. The scent of pine and damp earth create an atmosphere both soothing and invigorating. Your journey begins as you stand before a clearing, the spot where your cabin will be built. With the calm determination of a samurai, you consider what the first step should be. Do you start gathering wood for the cabin, or do you explore the surroundings to familiarize yourself with the terrain? And now, what we can do is we have our choices. So, I wanted to leave this, let's call it, feature for players that don't want to be like creative or flexible, how to call it. And there you can see we have two choices: gather wood for the cabin and explore the surroundings. But what we can do is manual, and that's that we can write whatever we want. And it really is kind of like maybe too much, because we can now say I'm jumping on the cloud, and that would probably work. But let's try something simple for the beginning. So we can say something like, I want to fortify my cabin in the woods from some potential attackers. Let's try something like that to see what are we going to get. Yeah, and this one came by accident. I forgot to remove the image when loading is currently on, but that one looked cool actually, so I left it here. And now our second level is being created. So based on our answer, so OpenAI receives here basically what happened in our last level, and now knows what are we doing for the next one, and based on that is going to generate us the second level. And like this, it can go on and on. Our story can, like, it cannot be, maybe it shouldn't be ended, like, never. And here it is. Okay, so these are the things I have to fix when I'm sending the prompt to Dolly 3. But what we have is, understanding the importance of security that these dense woods might require, you have decided to fortify your cabin. Armed with your sword and guided by the samurai's strategic mindset, you begin to survey your surroundings for elements that could be used for defense. Your keen eyes spot a thicket of thorn bushes nearby, potentially a natural barricade. You also notice several large, sturdy trees suitable for creating a protective palisade. Okay, so we are basically creating a fortification. That's cool. Let's try now actually that cloud jumping to see if it is going to work. So what is it? Giving harvest thorns or commence chopping trees. This one is also like a good thing you can check, maybe to give you some ideas before writing something. But let's try. I want to jump on a cloud above me and check the surroundings. Like this. Let's try if that is going to work. I think it's going to work, but let's wait and see. Imagine what is like possible here when Sora comes out, and when you got the videos created from these stories. I think that future of this game can be really like, it's unpredictable. Oh, look at this, what happened? In the midst of your strategic planning, you suddenly feel an inexplicable longing to rise above your earthly concerns. Drawing upon the mystical powers inherent in your samurai lineage, you take a graceful leap towards the heavens, landing softly on a passing cloud. Okay, so we definitely made it. And these are some things that need to be fixed. That can be solved like through, if you choose a samurai character, it should be somewhere behind, like telling this is a physical character. It cannot have like some spell powers or something like that. There are a bunch of things that need to be fixed in this game, so but I can tell you it's really interesting. Debugging is really interesting because you are getting totally different things. You cannot expect everything because it's coming back from the OpenAI API, but one by one, I think that everything can be fixed. So let me show you quickly through the code how it looks. If you're interested in checking it out, you can check on my GitHub repository. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So I'm not like super proud about my code here. I'm probably going to create a refactoring video for this project. So this like GPT name is already bad enough. So here we're calling our OpenAI API, and here we are implementing the Langchain conversation chain. So what is that one doing is it's saving our story in a memory, and in like our 10th level we know what we did in our second level. So if we met some character or did something like, I don't know, killing an orc, then in our 10th level we are going to know what happened. So our character is going to know that. It's going to be inside our storyline. And this one was really a breakthrough for me, because before that I was afraid that I need to save like bunch of data in database and then sending to OpenAI so our character can know what he did. Then here we have a bunch of prompts. So this one is for the Dolly 3 image prompt, and here we're calling that API, and this everything needs to be refactored. I'm a little bit embarrassed of showing you this, but it's working, so that's okay. And then we have our story creator class, and this one is probably the most important one besides this gpt.ts. And here we have all of our prompts. So we have our JSON format, which we are sending to the OpenAI and asking him to bring us back in that format always, so we can display it like you saw it on the demo. And we have only storyline and available choices, nothing special. So here in our GPT story prompt, we are creating our whole prompt, and this one was changed really a lot of times to get the story written like in the way it's supposed to be. And we have a lot of things like inventory, like game character story, the main prompts, and then mixing everything together to get that story that sounds good. And also I have companions in plan and enemies to have some like nemesis that you're chasing with or something like that. And then we have the next level. So for the next level it's easier because this one is only, this whole prompt is only for the first level, because here we still don't know who we are and what are we doing. But here we also have some memory from Langchain, and then we can just pass some quick like, this is what I did, just continue my story. And this one is for updating of the inventory. In case our character finds something, he's going to get it inside his array of items. So that one needs to be displayed, like I said. On the front end, it's nothing special. Here in the story level, I'm basically just displaying the text, the image, and everything from OpenAI that comes from some state. And there is a text area and button to go to the next level. This is that loading of sentences and level selections, etc. And also here, the UI, I created everything myself. It's custom made. I'm going to replace it with ShadCN. Back then I didn't have ShadCN, so I'm just going to replace everything that I created. That one shouldn't be too hard. It's only like button input and text area, and I think that's it. And also if I change the whole design, it will be much easier with ShadCN. And that is basically it. I can show you quickly one more quick game. So quick game, what is it doing? All of those things that we chose, it's giving us random. So let's try it out. Quick game, it's always mix of something really strange and something that you wouldn't play ever. So let's see what are we going to get. And I'd really like to hear from you, warriors. What do you think about this? Do you have any ideas? What feature could I bring in into this project? Maybe something like a health bar, or maybe some dice system, or I don't know. Now this project can go in so many directions that I currently don't know exactly where to go. But what I know I will do next is a login system. It definitely needs a login system for people to log in and to be able to play this game, to fix all the bugs and to refactor a little bit. But after that, I'm not sure what is going to be enough for the players to actually play this game. And now we have our, oh, what is this? We have our random game. So you're Cyrus Darkflame, a caveman with a soul yearning for the complexities of human life. Your eyes, a deep shade of indigo, hold an intensity that belies your primitive exterior. Okay, like I told you, like there is no way somebody could choose something like this. I don't know what is our main quest, but so in what kind of world are we? Do you attempt to play a melody? Oh, okay, we are some kind of caveman musician. Interesting. You can try it out. Go to the GitHub repository clone and play a little bit. Tell me your experience with this one. I hope you like this video, warriors. This game is really interesting to me, and I was waiting for so long for some technologies like OpenAI and Langchain combined that gave me this power of flexible storytelling. I'm definitely going to make a lot of videos on this subject, on this particular game. So if you want to see more about this and more about the development of this project, just subscribe to this channel.